Hello, Gary. Just obviously, you were running the marathon last Sunday morning, so presumably you didn't find out about Sheffield Wednesday's result until after you'd finished.
I'll tell you what happened. I got to the hospitality tent afterwards, and the security guy on there said, "I'm a massive blue nose. Can I have a photo?" He said, "Have you heard about the result?" And then he said 3-1. So at that point, I didn't want to react either way. And he obviously told me Sheffield Wednesday. It is what it is, isn't it? I've said that since day one. You can't rely on other people's results. You can't be disappointed because somebody else has turned up and won a game of football, because they deserve the 3 points if that's what they've done. So you have to take care of your own backyard, if you like. So it was one of those things. It was. I wasn't sat there watching the game, which probably helps at this stage of a season. But and I was talking about it earlier. You know, sometimes if you go and get 4 points in 2 games at this stage of a season, actually maybe that's enough to climb you out of trouble. But actually, because of the results of other teams, it's left us in the bottom 3 still. So we've got to do something about it. We've got to react.
Is the most important thing that you come out of this weekend having your fate in your own hands and you're not going to be relying on other results on the final day?
Yeah, again, the other results are that's just a game of maths, isn't it? You know, you'll be sat there on the sideline. I'll be aware of other games. I'll be aware of other results. I'll be aware of where we are. We'll try and make good decisions around that. But I think a lot of it is just about our performances. You know, if we go out there, the aim for us really is to forget about all those external things and essentially control the factors that we can control, which is our preparation, which is the right team to go out there and perform, which is, you know, the mentality and the motivation before the game. I mean, it's about us putting it out there on the pitch. And I think what the team has showed is, you know, they've showed against a good team like Coventry that when our mentality is spot on and our work rate's brilliant in front of our fans, of course, it's a little bit easier. But we've got another away sellout. So I think, once again, the fans have more than played their part. And we've showed we can produce that type of performance. What you've got to do is you've got to do that consistently at this stage of a season. And last week we didn't do that anywhere near as well. So that's the focus for me. You know, the focus for me is purely on the 90 minutes of how our team go about the game. And for me, if we get that bit right, the rest will just take care of itself, in my opinion, at this stage of a season. And if it doesn't, then, you know, that's not something we can do anything about. So,
is mentality absolutely critical? Because of the game with so much riding on it, to be strong mentally in the key moments is absolutely critical, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's more critical with 2 games to go than it is, you know, 10 games into the season. Of course, I think that anyone who's been involved in the game, you know that these type of games, you know, there's always that little bit of something in the back of people's mind. Oh, we need to perform. There's a little bit more pressure, but to me, that's when you have to go and step up. That's when the best players, that's when the best teams go and show what they're all about. And, you know, that's where individuals say, give me the ball when there's someone marking me, and that's what a leader does, or that's what a player with character does. So we have to try and get all those elements right. But of course, the game, and it's exactly the same for Huddersfield. In some ways, it's probably a little bit worse again for them because they're at home. So, you know, that pressure can change moments in the game, and you've got to make sure you deal with it.
And pressure for them as well, coming off that horrible home defeat they had last weekend.
Yeah, but again, you know, that's for them to worry about. It's you know, that's how they, you know, I'm sure they'll be talking about responding and bouncing back and all of those things. And what I would say is we've just got to go there and perform. We've got to go there and perform. We've got to go there and do what I think we can do, what I believe this squad is capable of doing. We can perform to a very, very high level when all the elements are right, when all the sort of moments are aligned within the team, and that's our focus. You know, we're going to be incredibly positive going into it. Said it before, it's an incredible opportunity again for us to show we're better than last week. You know, and we've got to go and do that. You know, and how another team deals with pressure and how another team deals with their situation is not really my concern. Thank you.
Looking at Huddersfield, of course, you know, they're fighting for their lives at the moment, like they will be on Saturday. I think a defeat sends them down for good. Are you expecting them to come at you with full force?
Yeah, but I think that's any home game this season. I mean, if we played Huddersfield first game of the season, I would expect them to come at you with whatever they've got, you know. So I don't think that necessarily changes massively. I think that at this stage of a season, what you're always going to see is, in this moment, like we would at home, you want to start quick, you want to put the other team under pressure. Sometimes as your away team, rather than sit and wait, you know, you've got to go and meet fire with fire, and you've got to go and make sure you're ready to put your own sort of intensity into the game early on. But it's not just about that, you know, it's about having the quality and bravery to keep possession at times. It's about, you know, having the discipline and the organisation to make sure you get your defensive part right, because, you know, there's obviously two sides to the game that are constantly twisting and turning within the game in the sort of transitional moments. So yeah, I think it's really, really simple for us. It's really clear for us. Rotherham will do whatever they do, and, you know, it's not me being disrespectful. It's that we've got to take care of ourselves, and we've got to take care of our own performance, just like Rotherham will be saying exactly the same thing for them. You know, we respect their fighting for their lives. We've got to show that, so are we.
And what's been your sort of message to the squad ahead of the game? I'm sure they're all aware of the magnitude of it.
Yeah, positivity. I think really it's you know, we want to get on the front foot. We want to go and attack. We don't want to play it like an away game where we're just waiting. We're waiting for something to happen. We're a little bit cagey. We're a little bit cautious. I think that perhaps the nature of Rotherham and the direct play and the nature of the first game under a new manager meant that perhaps they pinned us back at times a little bit more than we'd like. And certainly we want to get that side of it. But yeah, the message has been no different. You know, I think we've got a lot of ability and a lot of talent in the group. What we've got to do is make sure we show every bit of the other side that's required. You know, and that our fans would expect of us. I think is the big thing.
I think we've spoken all season really about the struggles away from home. Is this what sort of one final chance to put that right?
Well, it's the last one, isn't it? So yeah, you're not going to get many other chances. Yeah, I think again, away from home, at home, I think at this stage of the season, I don't think necessarily matters. I think it's about performing. It's about performing in these big games, these big moments. Throughout all the leagues, there'll be teams playing a game to get promotion. There'll be a team playing a game to get in the playoffs. There'll be a team playing a game to stay in the playoffs. It's no different at the top end than it is at down the bottom end. You know, there's an element of must-win about these games because there's only two of them left, and you don't want to come out of these games with any regrets, really. And I think that's the situation. Like I said, you know, this team is more than capable of performing to a high level. What we've got to do is we've got to consistently show that now. Now it's just time for these one-off games to step up.
Siriki Dembele was one who had an excellent game in the reverse fixture earlier in the season. Is he one of those who could potentially force his way back into the team? Yeah, look, I mean,
I don't. It's always easy sometimes, I think, for people to look at maybe the corresponding fixture 25 games ago and talk about performances. I think what Siriki's done, and to be fair to him, what he's done in training this week is he showed both sides of his game. He showed a real appetite to work hard. He's shown a little bit of edge about his play, which I said it before. I said he's got, when he shows that side of his game, the ability-wise, he's fantastic. You know, you look at someone like Bakker as well, exactly the same. You know, when they show that other side of a game, I think they're incredibly talented players that, of course, you'd want in your team. You know, if they consistently do that. So yeah, I think any player that's available has an opportunity all week to show you. It's difficult sometimes because you pick a team sometimes based on what you see every day, and of course people only see that performance at the weekend. So you know, there's always that flip side to having to select the right team. You know, it's the right team if you win normally, and if you don't, it's the wrong team. It is what it is at this stage of the season. But we've got some good players. We've got players that can start, create a good impact. We've got players that can come off the bench and create a good impact, and it's making sure we have a plan for 90 odd minutes and for all eventualities of how the game might pan out.
I think the Blue Noses have sold out both this game and the Norwich games in pretty much record time. Are you really looking forward to those atmospheres now?
Yeah, incredible. I mean, they've been brilliant since I came back. I mean, I've had an incredible reception. We've had incredible following in the games. Yeah, I'm disappointed I haven't been able to give them more points at this current moment in time, because they deserve it. You know, for a team in this situation to have, I think it's going to be 3 out of 4 home games that I've been here, but we sellouts. You know, we've had most of the away games more or less been sold out, and they've been fantastic. So again, you know, I know what their expectation is. I know what my expectation is, and you know, between us and the players, we've got to try and match that out on the pitch.
Just finally on injury news, you mentioned Juki potentially being a little bit closer to a return last week. Is there any updates on Berkey and Pritchard too?
Yeah, Pritchard's trained all week. Berkey's not. He felt his hamstring in the game, so he's going to be unavailable. Juki, again, I think probably epitomises what you need at this stage of the season. You know, he's, as he has done so many times, you know, he just wants to get out there. He just wants to get out there. He's running around with more tape on him than I've ever seen in my life. But you know, he will make sure he is going to do his best to be available. And you know, I think that's really inspirational. I think that's what you need to look at this stage of the season. Someone who's, you know, had to do it so many times, but just cannot do it any other way but be incredibly professional. So and if he is available, of course, at some point in the game, you know, he could be absolutely vital to change in the game. We haven't had the opportunity to do that very often. Well, not at all really. So he could certainly give us a different outlet should we need it late on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.